watching One Gotti Talking Sports.
So YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with yet another Washington football team video, and in today's video we have an update on Brandon Sheriff. I'm a few days late on it, but the Washington football team is interested in getting him a long-term deal, but if not, they'll use the franchise tag on him. Let's talk more about it. Will it happen? Will it not? Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, turn on post notifications. Let's get straight into today's video. So, like I said, the Washington football team came out and said, as we know, shouldn't be no surprise, that they want to reach a long-term deal with Brandon Sheriff. But if it doesn't happen, they won't be afraid to use the franchise tag again for the second straight season. If you don't know, if you're not all up into it, we franchise tagged Brandon Sheriff last year, and I believe it ran us roughly around $14–15 million. And the big reason why I don't want to franchise tag him for the second straight season is obviously we did it before with Kirk Cousins. That's not really the big reason. That's one of the reasons, but the big reasons is that it'll go up even more, and we'll have to pay him around $18–19 million for 1 year of service, and I don't want to do that because that's just going to mess up our cap. That's going to mess up what we had plans to do for the offseason as far as addressing important other positions like receiver, like linebacker, and like safety and other positions that people feel are big needs on this team. It would just mess everything up. I would rather have to pay him $18 million because I believe that's what we're going to have to pay him over the course of his contract, then only pay him that for 1 year, and then we just kick him out the door. He basically just robbed us, you know what I'm saying? Not saying Brandon Sheriff isn't good. Obviously, he's an all-pro. He's very good. But I'm just saying I don't want to go down that road again because we already been down it once, and I don't want to go down it again because it didn't end well for the Washington football team. Kirk Cousins left us, and now we're still looking for our next quarterback. And if he was here, I'm pretty sure we would be running this division. You get my point. So with Brandon Sheriff, man, I want to pay Brandon Sheriff. He deserves every single penny. But I can also see why a lot of people that's out there, if they don't want to pay Brandon Sheriff, don't want to pay Brandon Sheriff. I get why. Because he's injury prone. Brandon Sheriff has been in the league since 2015, and he is yet to play a full 16-game year. Now, I understand he's in the trenches. He's on the offensive line. He's going to get banged up. I get that. But it's been every year. I don't personally have a problem with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm still want to pay him. I still want to keep him around, but I'm not gonna lie, at the beginning of the year when he got hurt, I think it was against the Arizona Cardinals, I could be wrong, where he got his leg bent up and he missed like 6–7 games with a sprained leg. I forgot what the actual injury was. I believe it was against the Arizona Cardinals. I could be wrong, but when he got hurt early in the season, I was like, man, you know what, Brandon Sheriff, dude, I don't know if I want him around anymore, you know what I'm saying, because he's never able to be healthy for us, and he always missing a big chunk of the season, you know what I'm saying. So I did have that point in time where I was just like, I don't know if I want Brandon Sheriff here long term or pay him yet again, because I just don't think he's going to be there in the long run for us. You know what I'm saying? He's going to constantly miss. And like I said, not saying he still won't, because his track record says that he's going to miss at least 3 games a season. But my thinking early in the season is that I don't want to commit to this dude long term, and he's missing 5 games a year. You know what I'm saying? That was originally my thinking. But then after I seen him come back, play through that injury, because I'm pretty sure he wasn't 100%, you know what I'm saying? He was probably 80–90%, but you can see that he still was hurt. I believe he had to wear a brace and all of that, you know, on that leg, you know what I'm saying? Brandon Sheriff was not 100%, but I commended him from coming back, you know what I'm saying? And then I also thought and sat down some more, we can't let homegrown talent get away from us. We let that go with Trent Williams, and we can't let that happen again, you know what I'm saying? And Trent Williams, his position was a little bit different, you know what I'm saying? He wanted out. I'm not saying Brandon Sheriff doesn't want out, but he already said he wants to be a Washington football team player for the rest of his career. But we can't let homegrown talent get away from us, because if we do that, we're going to have a big hole at right guard. We already have enough issues with this team, and we can't add on another one. You know what I'm saying? We already have a lot of positions that we want to take with 19, and if we let go of Brandon Sheriff and we don't pay him, then that's going to add on another position that we possibly need to address at 19, and that's the right guard position, obviously. I'm not saying that it's going to happen, you know what I'm saying? If we do let go of Brandon Sheriff, we can always find one in the back end of the draft, but I don't know if they're going to be as good as Brandon Sheriff. Update, the reason why I'm doing this video is because the franchise tag window opened a couple days ago, and teams have up until March 9th to, I believe, place that franchise tag on their specific player. You know what I'm saying? And with Brandon Sheriff is, like I said before, I don't want to have to pay him a whole bunch of money for just 1 year service just because we can't agree to a long-term deal. My thing with Brandon Sheriff is if we don't agree to a long-term deal and, you know what I'm saying, we're possibly forced to slap that franchise tag on him, I'll let him go. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. That's what I'm thinking going into it. If we can't agree to a long-term deal, I'll let you go because I don't want to have to pay you all that money for just 1 year of service again. You know what I'm saying? Especially a guy like Brandon Sheriff, like I said, who's known to miss at least 3 games a season. For me, and I don't know if they're looking at it like this, but if they're smart, they will look at it like I'm looking at it. It's either come to a long-term deal or, unfortunately, thank you for your service, but time to move on because we weren't able to reach a long-term deal. And do I think that's going to happen? I don't think it's going to happen. I think we're going to come to a long-term deal, whether that's now or in a couple weeks from now or a couple months, however. I think we're going to come to a long-term deal with Brandon Sheriff before the season starts, but I just don't want to franchise tag him again because, like I said, that's going to mess up our plans in free agency, and it's either get a long-term deal done with Brandon Sheriff or let him walk, and I really hope we don't let him walk because, like I said, he's a homegrown talent. He's really good. He's just coming off an all-pro season. Mind you, he was hurt for most of the games, and he still had an all-pro season. Just imagine if Brandon Sheriff could play a 17-game season, and yes, I'm saying 17 because they're adding on an extra game, as you know, and with Brandon Sheriff, man, he's just so good. He brings so much to this team, not just his ability to play on the field, but he's a captain, he's a leader in the locker room, and he's just a guy that you want on this team. Like a Terry McLaurin, Brandon Sheriff is one of those guys. And with Brandon Sheriff, we can't really afford to lose him, man. This offensive line is starting to come together, in my opinion. A lot of people feel like you still can upgrade the left tackle, which you can. But if you guys want my 2 cents, go back to the video a couple days ago that I did with DMV Sports Zone, and I really elaborated on the offensive line. And I said I believe it's fine. Hope we can keep the band together. Morgan Moses and Brandon Sheriff are like best friends. Everyone is under contract for 2021 besides Brandon Sheriff. And I just hope we can get it done, man. Brandon Sheriff means a lot to this organization. Like I said, if you don't want Brandon Sheriff here, I totally get it. You know what I'm saying? Not from a playing standpoint, but from a ability to play standpoint. He's, you know, I'm not going to say he's rarely available because he's available, but the thing that you got to know with Brandon Sheriff is when you sign him to this long-term deal, you're almost guaranteeing that you're fine with him missing at least 3 games a season because he's gonna get banged up. It happens. It's a part of football. It's just with Brandon Sheriff luck, he was never able to complete a full season up to this point. So you have a lot to look at it if you're Washington standpoint. Trust me, I get it if they don't re-sign Brandon Sheriff. It's going to be a big pill to swallow. You know what I'm saying? It's going to open up another hole in the offensive line. Maybe move Sadiq Charles to the right guard spot. I don't know, but it's going to open up a whole nother problem. But trust me, I do get it if they don't re-sign him, but I think they're going to re-sign him. I think Ron Rivera sees how much Brandon Sheriff means to this team, how good he is, even when he has an injury season or an injured season, rather. Just imagine what he can do if he plays a full season. Brandon Sheriff is a Washington football team player that you need on this team. He's a definition of a dude like Chase Young. You need a Chase Young, you need a Terry McLaurin, you need a Brandon Sheriff, you need a Morgan Moses on your team. Those are football players. Those are players that you need on this team to build the culture that you want. So I believe Ron Rivera understands that, and I believe they'll get it done. So as always, this is me, your boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe, hell to the Washington football team. Let me know how you guys feel about this video down below. Do you think we're going to re-sign Brandon Sheriff? Do you think we're going to slap him on a franchise tag again? Or do you think we're going to let him walk? What would you do if you're Ron Rivera in the front office? As always, this is me, your boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe, hell to the Washington football team. I'm out. Peace. Cross me one time, that's gonna get you pop. Get you pop, get you drop. Slide on the one where they get you boxed on. I ain't stopping till I get me a